Okay, this next packet, like an idiot, I like stapled the examples onto it twice, so that was pretty smooth. Now, what you're eventually going to do, and it's like the heart, you have to get familiar with a process known as factoring. Okay? It says factor out the GCF. Now, nobody really knows what to do and what that means, so I'm going to explain it. So, what you do is you make this box here, you make a space with a parentheses. Okay? Actually, yeah, that's good. On the next problems, I'll put it down here so we have more room because we're going to need some room with these. Greatest common factor. Now, here's the first thing. Do you have a negative in the front of the whole problem? You don't. If you did, you got to put a negative right away. Now, look at your x's. We have x to the second and x to the first. They're on both, behind both numbers. Okay, 12 has an x, 6 has an x. The big 12 has an x, the big 6 has an x. So they both have x's behind them. Which one's the smaller power? X to the first. So you put x to the first up here. Now, what you do after that, you take your big numbers, 12 and 6. And I want to find a greatest common factor. What a greatest common factor is, it's the largest number you can divide each of these by without getting a decimal. Okay? Or the biggest number that they both divide evenly by. Some of you might know it right now. You can just put it there. Now, some of you who are terrible about this, here's a way to get better. Take the smaller number and list all of its factors. Okay? Here's how you list all of its factors. I know this seems like I'm kind of being stupid here, but yeah. First, divide by 1. Put what you divided by and the answer you got. So 1, 6. Now, after 1 comes 2. Okay? Put that and that. So 2 and 3. After 2 comes 3, but you see I've already listed 3. So as soon as I come across a number I've already listed, forget it. I'm done with the list. That's all the factors of 6. Now take these numbers and see if 12 can divide by them without getting a decimal. So we take the biggest number first and see if 12 divides by 6. Well, yeah, it does. It's 2. So 6 is the greatest common factor. So here's what you do with the greatest common factor. You take your 6x to the first, put it out into the space. It's like you're unmultiplying it. And then you underline both of these and divide by this, 6x to the first. So 12 divided by 6 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, so it would be x to the first. Minus 6 divided by 6 is 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. That means that cancels and the 1 will have no x. Okay? There we are. It's been factored out. Okay, 12x to the fifth plus 8x. So GCF, first thing, do you have a negative in front? No. Both numbers, both my big numbers, my big dogs have x behind it. The smallest, I know that sounds kind of weird, greatest common factor, you think it's the greatest x, but no. With x's, you take the smallest x. So x to the first. And then let's look at 12 and 8, the two big guys. So factors of 8, because 8's smaller, it's going to take a lot less time to come up with factors of the smaller number. So 8 divided by 1 is 8, so 1, 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 2, 4. 8 divided by 3 is a decimal. That means 3 is not a factor. It has no business being written down. And after 3 comes 4. I already have 4. So let's look at these. We need to try to divide the 12 by the greatest number possible. Now, does 12 divide by 8? Well, I'll even check it. 12 divided by 8. Nope. Decimal. 8's not the GCF. Now take the next number, 4. Well, 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 4 works. Okay. So now you put the 4x to the first here, and then you just simply underline those, and that's what you divide by. So 4x to the first, 4x to the first. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. And then 5 minus 1 is 4. So 3x to the fourth plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So it means it cancels. Okay. So I have unmultiplied my GCF. Okay, 15x to the third plus 20x. Okay. By the way, some of you might think I don't need to do all that work he's doing. That's fine. That's good. So, negative in front, no, I've got x third, x first. So x first is the smaller. And now let's look at 15 and 20. Okay, so 15 would be smaller. So I have 15 divided by 1 is 15. Does 15 divide by 2? No. Does 15 divide by 3? Yeah, so put 3, 5. 15 divided by 4 does not work. It's a decimal. 50, and then I come to 5, which I already have down. Okay, so can you divide 20 by 15? Well, let's see. You can, but well, I mean without a decimal answer. Nope. Now try 5. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So 5. So 5x to the first. And then I divide by 5x of first and 5x of first. So that's going to be 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. That's 4. 1 minus 1 is 0. There we have it. Okay, next problem. GCF. And then we need, when we find the GCF, we need to unmultiply it outside. 6x squared and x. So no negative. So I'd go x to the first, and then 64 and 16. Well, I think it's going to be a lot quicker to do a factor list of 16. So 1 and 16, 1 in itself are always factors. 2 and 8. Does 16 divide by 3? No, not very well, so no. 16 divided by 4. Okay, what I got was twin factors. Because I divided by 4, I got 4. As soon as I get twin factors, I can stop. Now, let's see if 64 divides by something from this list. So 64 divisible by 16, yeah, it's 4. So 16 is the one to put. By the way, a lot of people get 4 and they put 4 here. No, that's wrong. You put the number you circled from this list. Okay, so 16x to the first, and then I divide by 16x to the first, and that's 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. If you get 1, I want you to just put x starting now. Minus 16 divided by 16 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So, yeah. Once you get in the habit of that, if you subtract 2 powers and get a 1, just put x. Okay, moving right along. 3x to the fourth plus 16x, okay? GCF, you have a negative in front, no. You got x fourth, x first, and then 16 and 3. What are factors of 3? Well, 1 in itself. 3 is not divisible by 2 because I got a decimal, and then I'd get 3. So those are the only factors. It's what's called a prime factor. The only factors are 1 in itself. Now, can you divide 16 by 3? No. Can you divide it by 1? Obviously. Okay. So 1x to the second is a GCF, and then I divide by 1x to the first. So that's going to be 3. 4 minus 1 is 3, so 3x to the third. 16, 1 minus 1, 0, meaning it cancels out and we don't put an x. Okay, 5x to the second minus 5x. These next three are easy. Okay. GCF, negative in front, no. X to the first would be what to put down. If you have the same number, 5 and 5, then 5 is your greatest common factor because you can obviously divide them both by 5. So 5x to the first. Again, if you have the same number, you don't need to waste time with this. So that's 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So x to the, remember, when you get a 1, try to resist putting that 1 there. Just leave it as x as long as it's 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 5x the first times 1x minus 1. You're wondering, what is the point of this? You will see, okay, later. You'll be happy you have this skill. Make what we're doing after this easier somewhat. Still. Okay, so GCF. Take your smallest x out of there, and you have the same number. Okay, so 10, 10. The GCF's 10 automatically. So 10x to the first, and I'm going to divide. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. So x, try to resist putting the 1. 10 divided by 10 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay. GCF. Okay. Well, no negative. X second, X first, 20 and 20. It's just 20. Okay. So 20x to the first, and then we'll divide. So that's 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, but remember, try to resist putting the 1. That's 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, last page. GCF. Now, you know I kept asking you in the beginning, do you have a negative in front? Well, this one you do. So you need to put a negative in your GCF if the front of the problem's negative. Okay, so x second and x first. So we take x first, just like I do with all of them, and then 4 and 20. So 4 would be easier to make a list from. So I got 1 and 4, and then 4 divided by, you got twin factors at 2 because 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that completes the factor list for 4. Now, can you take 20 divided by 4 without getting a decimal? I think you can. So you need to put a 4 here. So negative 4x to the first is the GCF. And then I will be dividing by negative 4x to the first. It's going to be 1. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay. And then you get negative 5. But if you get a negative for that second one, can you just put minus 5, please? Get in that habit. 1 minus 1 is 0, so they cancel. Okay, next one, GCF. Negative in front, yep. And x second, x first. So 6 and 21. Factors of 6. You got 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Because 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so I divide by 2, I get 3. So 2, 3. And then after 2 comes 3. I already have it. Okay, 21 divided by 6 does not work out because it's 3.5. That's a decimal, meaning 6 is not also a factor of 21. Okay, is 3 a factor of 21? Well, if I take 21 divided by 3, I get a nice whole number of 7. So, yeah, it would be. So, you need to unmultiply the negative 3x to the first. So, it's positive 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. Again, so x to the first. So, just try to avoid putting the 1 there. Positive 21 divided by negative 3 is negative 7. So just write minus 7. And then 1 minus 1, 0. They cross out. Okay. Negative 3x minus 6x. Do you have a negative in front? Yep. You got x's 2 and 1, so x to the first, and then 3 and 6. Probably want to make the list from 3. So 1 and 3. Is 3 divisible by 2? No, it's a decimal. And then I just come to 3 again, which I've already written down. When it's time to divide by a number I already have down, I know I don't have any more factors. Okay, so is 6 divisible by 3? Yeah, it's 2. Okay. So negative 3x to the first, and then we divide. So negative 3 divided by negative 3 is 1, and then 2 minus 1 is 1, so we just put x. Negative 6 divided by negative 3, I say negative 6 because when it's a minus, that number is going to divide as a negative, and that's 2. So positive 2, so plus 2. 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, and then my last one, do I have a negative in front? No. Okay, 20 and 30, and we do have x, so x the first. Probably should do 20, so 1 and 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10, so I put the 2 and the 10. 20 divided by 3 is a decimal, so 20 is not divisible by 3. 20 divided by 4 is 5, so 4 and 5. And then after 4 comes 5. Well, I already got 5. Okay, is 30 divisible by 20? Is 20 a factor of 30? No, because I got 1.5. It's a decimal. If it's a decimal, it's not a factor of both. 10. Is 30 divisible by 10? Yeah, it's 3. Okay. So negative 10x to the first, and then I go divide. That's 2. 2 minus 1 is 1, so x. Negative 3, so minus 3. 1 minus 1, 0. Okay, now all that is a skill that helps you on the future stuff. Okay. Now again, your assignment is 1 through 8. Okay, I want you to do me a favor on the first one. Put x second and then just x. Okay, x first. X second, x first. You're more used to that. Okay.